Aflag and Praise TV proudly present Rights in Focus with Aflag.
One of the things that we realized was the acceptability of violence in our society. There were evidence to show that when women are abused and they go to the traditional setup, which was what was pertaining there before, they even asked the woman to appease her husband. It's still for even coming out to even say it in the first place. Why are you washing your dirty linens in public? You have to compensate your husband for even coming to disgrace him that he has beat you. It's a private matter. Don't say it. Society endorsed and embraced that a way to correct a woman. You see that box that we draw? We ask them, if a woman goes outside of this box, what happens? She's disciplined. To straighten her. This is there. The findings are, you can search for it on the internet, you get it. Practical findings. They endorsed it. It was accepted. The response of state institutions. You see, because of the way we have been brought up, when the cases go to dogs, then it was waju. Oh, one baby and yambo. Oh, baba, ye then waha. I think you agree to that. So one of the findings we had was how state institutions were responding to people who bring cases to them. So it got to a time the women no longer wanted to go to Waju. Because when I go, they will end up blaming me. Yeah. Or even tell us that, hey, go home and let your husband, deal with you the way that will make you a better woman. There were 5 findings, but I've just mentioned 2. The third one is people not even knowing that violence is a human rights abuse. So it meant that you need to start sensitizing and creating that awareness that violence against women and girls is an issue. And if you do it, it is wrong. You have violated the rights of the person. People didn't see it as any big deal. Why are they correcting? And that is how society was structured. Realizing that people did not even have an idea that, this violence that they are perpetuating is, an abuse of the rights of the people they are perpetuating it against. So there also had to be nationwide sensitization, awareness raising, to be able to get people to understand. And then the advocacy for getting the law passed. As he said, the Beijing Platform for Action, the documents that was, developed. If you look at our Domestic Violence Act, you see CEDAW in it, you see DVAL, the Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women. Yeah. You see excerpts of it because you have to domesticate it where you ratify it. Yeah. And one of the things is to take out all of these things. Look at the Maputo Protocol, which talks about the human rights of women, talking about, witchcraft accusations, talking about, it encompasses the African version because they understand that all of this is needed. So making sure that all of this are incorporated in the law but even with that, we are currently calling for the, amendments because we realized that there were so many things that were left out of the law. And you see, as you implement, you begin to realize the gaps. And after implementation, we've identified some gaps. So we want to go back and ask, for it to be reviewed, which currently actually is being done, to review the Domestic Violence Act and, make new inputs into it because things have changed. A lot of new kinds of abuses are now let's move to
like the social media type of
because when we went to the commercial break, the discussion that was going on here is something that the audience need to know about. Edwin, please tell us.
Yes, I wanted to support something Madam was saying. The people that are put at the Dove and all of that, I'm not saying all of them, but I have had quite a good number of experiences with some of the women. And sometimes you wonder whether they have had adequate training on how to treat some of these. I use the word victim.
They are trained. They come to the training, eat, and go back.
Because you go and meet such antagonism. Somebody who has already been abused, who have suffered so much to air this grievance, because we already live in a society where people are saying that you did the wrong in the first place for you, and mostly it's the men that do the abusing anyway. for your husband to abuse you and all of those things. Mostly you go there and the woman rather jump behind the perpetrator and makes the life of the victim such a living hell. So the question sometimes you ask is, have these people, do the police have a structured training regime for because at the break, Madam was saying some things that I think is interesting, that there are instances where people are transferred, you know. So if you are trained and you are transferred, the one who is to come there should have been adequately trained as well, taken through certain institutions. If the police itself is not training them, then they should take them to places like Madam's institutions where they are training them. Because from a lot of lawyers will tell you this, that if you have been abused and you dare go to any police station alone, you are in trouble.
It's true.
Because they are not going to stand for you alone. Especially if you are not fortunate and the perpetrator is either influential, wealthy, powerful, you are in trouble. You are in trouble.
Especially the rape victims. Child prostitution, you see them. Sometimes I do documentaries and then you see these children. Child prostitution is a very serious thing in Ghana. But it's so surprising that it's not talked about enough. It's terrible. You should go to Medina in the evening. Children under age
10,
you know.
9.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, they work and take it to their masters, and guess who their masters are? Women. So sometimes you wonder, is it just men or women? Because we are both, you know, perpetrators of this issue that is happening to our women. If you are not a woman who is assertive, confident enough to be able to talk about this, the abuse and then the, you know, victim blaming you are both talking about that you face can be traumatizing.
You know, sometimes there was one thing I wanted to add. Sometimes somebody can be a perpetrator and a victim.
A victim at the same time.
At the same time.
Yes.
Let's take a husband and wife situation where, let's say, the husband has physically abused the wife, but he goes and tells his story and says that I did that because I have also been psychologically or emotionally abused over time. You know, none of the abuses are justified. They are all acts of domestic violence. Yeah. You know, so there's the possibility of two people being a victim and a perpetrator. But honestly, most of the time, it is the men that abuse their wives.
Okay, I want you to add on being a lawyer. Now, I've dealt with instances and cases where it's because we spoke about the victim-perpetrator dynamic. So we have victims who were not perpetrators initially, but in trying to defend themselves, they become perpetrators. So we've handled a case like that. Where she is a victim, she's been a victim for about 28 years.
She's a survivor.
So
these days we don't want to even use the term victim.
Survivor.
So she's supposed good. So I don't even know whether in this instance to call her a survivor or not. But she has survived it, but she survived it in prison. As we speak, she ended up in trying to retaliate, ended up killing the husband. So now she's in prison.
You see that, but that is.
And we had a meeting with some of the Supreme Court judges about it, you know, revising the Domestic Violence Act, and it is something that is a concern to them because, to be frank, they actually mentioned that these are some of the things they are looking at. That if you are a victim who has been abused over the years, and you end up committing a crime or trying to defend yourself, you know, there's manslaughter or there's even actual murder, there was that intention to kill, it shouldn't be life imprisonment anymore. Okay, because you see, if you are being sentenced to life, I think it's unfair.
No, it also depends on the sort of defense that was given to the victim, the survivor.
The survivor.
And the sort of lawyering that was done. All of those things are a factor.
Because so we need lawyers to defend it.
But you see, the point I'm making is once the issue happens, what is important is what sort of defense mechanisms are given to the person. But what is material in all of this is when you are at the stage of a survivor, there are avenues available to you which are legal. You have to explore them first. Unless maybe what you did was a self-defense.
There are financial constraints in exploring those. That is also another challenge.
Yeah, but that whatever it is you do in life, you would have something has to give
Anyway.
So I think the first step is what we are doing, making people aware that look, when you are abused physically, psychologically, and let's give examples. Physical abuse, no man, no woman has a right to lay his hand or even attempt to beat up to beat up someone, because even the attempt, in law is a crime. So don't wife grant me because nobody say, hey, all those are illegal. And emotional abuse, sexual abuse. You can marry someone and say that, look, me dear, because I paid your bride price, I'm going to sleep with you 3 times a day or every day. Some people will say that even when they are in their a woman is in a time of the month, I want to sleep with you. I mean, it's
some are even forcing for anal sex these days.
Yes, and there, when you do that, you are committing another crime, because
sodomizing the person. That's another crime.
Allowed by our criminal.
Unnatural carnal knowledge. It's not allowed.
You see, so and it happens to a lot of wives. They have been sodomized by their husbands. Even
there is actually a case we are dealing with. Sodomized. She couldn't even take it up. Eventually, she had to confess to her dad. So it's her dad that is pursuing the case. But meanwhile, she's old. Yes. She's 40 something years. And she's been sodomized for about 13 years.
Because our society is so judgmental and hypocritical. Let her come out right now. And people say, oh, she wanted it. How did it happen in the first place? I mean, all kinds of things. Sometimes you are amazed when you go on any post and you read comments and you say, why are people so cruel? You have no idea about anybody's life, but you dare to give judgment on it.
You are both not talking about one form of abuse that has become rampant due to technology.
Let me talk, then I'll come back to that, because recently we even had a program on that. Yes. I was going through my social media, my Facebook to be specific, and then I saw a man who had come in and chanced on his wife sleeping with another man. Okay. And the woman says, I want you to feel the way I was feeling because you have been sleeping with my sister on this same bed that you and I share. Even though you know she's my sister, you've been having an affair with her. And you know that I know, but you have still been doing it. And apart from my sister, you brought in other women to share the same bed. So today, I wanted you to come and meet it so that you know how I feel. Come and see the comments. Hey, the way people were attacking this woman. The woman rather. That's what we're talking about. The comments that people were attacking. And, I'm sitting there reading these comments and say, did you hear the background? Why should it be okay for the man to do it, not respecting the woman, not respecting the marital institution? And the thing was that when he came in, the man she brought in was wearing a boxer, so it wasn't as if they were even sleeping. She just wanted to have that, to show him that nothing actually happened. Well, nothing actually happened, because when the man came in, the man was in his boxers and his singlets, and sitting in the act, and he was beating this woman blue black. Wow. And people were supporting with all sorts of comments, and I'm sitting and I'm saying, wow. And bringing us to what you guys are not talking about craze of online gender-based violence. So last year, for the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence, my office put together a forum talking about online sexual gender-based violence, and then OXY. We call something OXY, online child sexual exploitation and abuse, which we all think is not prevalent in Ghana. So a lot of people do not talk about these things. And we brought in somebody from the Cyber Security Authority to come and talk about it, and the statistics and the figures alone. One of our former staff, who is currently in Switzerland and just went to do her master's, did a study in Ghana on online gender-based violence, and she presented the findings. And you could see that this is something that these days have become the norm. You can't. People are sharing people's naked intimate information online, and people are commenting and making all sorts. You're a woman, you dress some way, even when you are covered. Oh, we are not beautiful. You are this. Your leg is crooked.
The body shaming.
They traumatize you so much that it's like you begin to consider suicide for some of the women because they are looking at all of this, and then the children who have been deceived online. Oh, people send them friend requests, I love you and all of that. And once I was watching that, then another video came up where this TV presenter was talking about this boy who currently, I learned AI has this thing that develops a boyfriend or a girlfriend for you. So this boy is in Australia, and the AI gave him a girlfriend. The boy is 14 years, and this boy gave the AI girlfriend a name, and they've been having intimate conversations with this AI, and the AI has been sending him intimate pictures, and all of that. God. And so this 14-year-old boy is so hooked on this AI girlfriend. And so it got to a time the AI began to traumatize the boy. Oh, you can't do the thing very well. Or when you remove your boxers, this is what I see. Your excuse me to say, your manhood is looking this way. Kill yourself and leave this world. And unfortunately, the AI pushed this boy so much that the boy killed himself.
Wow. No.
This today, I was watching it. It's from an Australian this thing. I never even knew that now AI you can get a boyfriend or girlfriend. And it was then that I decided to do a lot of findings and realized that it's what is pertaining now. So people go online, both adults and young people, and the AI is your boyfriend, your girlfriend,
so interesting,
and
but we are running out
teaches
of
you
time.
so much time. And this all constitutes the gender-based violence we are talking about. But it's like currently there is no focus. So these are all the reasons why we need to review the act to make it more inclusive for some of these things. We have instances where a CSA shared, instances where a boy is 14 years, a girl is 14, they are both in the same classroom, they are boyfriend, girlfriend. The boy says, send me nude pictures, the girl sends, and then one day something happens in school and he shares it with the classmates, and then the whole school goes, hey, and then this girl is contemplating suicide in Ghana here, not anywhere else. They have instances where adults come in to report such cases. These things are going on.
The blackmailing with a nude is crazy.
It's amazing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But then it all boils down to society is changing, and we need to make sure that we are abreast with everything that is going on. We're talking about the sociocultural norms and practices. Currently, that home structure of the man is the only one bringing it doesn't even persist anymore. Currently, a lot of women are equally going out there to bring in money, because if the woman does not add, you cannot survive with what is going on currently. But still, that old structure of even though she's bringing, she must still play a reproductive role. She must still be that carer for the family. Persist. There is nothing like now that she's also going out to work. We are taking off some of the burden.
One thing that I even want to mentioning reproductive rights. One thing a lot of people are not even aware of is that reproductive right is the sole right of a woman. Because when it comes to reproduction, it's a woman's body that literally does everything. Yeah. So those days, or even up until now, why we have a man say that I want 6 children, I want 5, would that considering the woman's body and what it can take? It's outdated. We have it in our laws. Why do we still have men? If we want more children, because it's a woman.
It's a form of abuse.
It's
your wife says that.
Oh no, my body due to my reproductive due to this. I can carry only 2 or 3. And you say no, I want 5, I want 10.
No, you can't force it.
And the threat, the threats of I will leave you
and take another woman.
And you see, society has made marriage the ultimate. Yeah. So the woman is.
You are running out of time. So give your closing remarks.
With what she's saying,
this is going to be your closing remarks. So what you're saying is your closing remarks.
Okay, that's fine. Society has to move away. One of the fastest things we have to do as a society is letting our women, our girl children, think that marriage is the ultimate.
It's bad.
And that even if you achieve whatever it is you achieve, so long as you are not married, you are underachieved. That has to be thrown out of the window. Marriage is beautiful, Only when you get the right person to be with. And take your time. If you don't make it, that is fine. Now, in terms of
I like how he said it. If you don't make it,
it's fine.
It's like a school admission. If you don't make
it, your worth is more than the fact of your marriage. Now, when it comes to domestic violence, please know that there are different forms of violence. It is not just when you beat up someone that you have committed an abuse of the person. When you treat them in a manner that sometimes makes them question whether they are sane, whether they have a sickness, all kinds of things, all kinds of treatment can be viewed as an abuse of the person. And there are ways you can be convicted of it, and when that happens, you can pay 500 penalty units, which is 6,000 cedis.
No, because my penalty unit is 12 cedis.
12 cedis. Yeah. Or you can go to jail for up to 2 years. So
you need to let them know.
Yes.
Lawyer is speaking. I know if I give lawyer the chance, he speaks.
Yes.
Your closing remark. Please, madam, your closing remark.
Yes.
I'm giving you
so
1 minute.
The first thing I'll say is speak out. Seek help. Stand up. When you are going through any form of abuse, speak out. Tell somebody about it. Don't keep it to yourself. From the physical, you get the emotional bit, because when you don't talk about it, you begin to go through all these emotions that, will affect you in the long run. It will even end up in death if you don't take care. Yeah. So don't be quiet, speak out. Then seek help. Move out. Let somebody help you. Even if you don't want to. I always tell people that going to the DOFSU is fine, but not everybody wants to go to DOFSU. There are so many other ways that people who are going through abuse, it takes a lot for a woman to gather that confidence to walk into a police station. But in the meantime, you need first aid. Seek psychological help. Go talk to somebody, a professional. Let the person provide you with that support so that you regain your self-esteem. You regain your confidence back to be able to.
I'm interjecting, madam, for us to wrap this up. Tonight, we've been able to actually explore both the legal and social consequences and effects of gender-based violence. As you heard my speakers say, we have to find a way to support. Victims must learn to speak up. And Madam Deborah said, if you don't have anyone to speak to a professional. Aside speaking to a professional, I'm calling on the community, individuals, community as in our collective community, to actually do better, to support victims. Don't victim blame them when they come to you, because as she said, they may not have the confidence to walk to DOFSU or to a police station to complain. So when they come to you, the next friend, do not blame them. Listen to them, and if you can give the support, you give it. For policymakers, I'm here to ask and to plead that review the laws. You've done so well with what we currently have, but review them and make sure that some of the gaps that are in it will be well handled, like the Australian Kate incidents, the technological aspects of everything. Consider all of this and make sure that every aspect of gender-based violence has been taken care of. A special thank you to my two lovely guests. I'll bring them on again because this is not done. We have to give you a part 2 of this. A special thank you to our sponsors, Oriental Resort Hotel, to Praise TV, to Aflag, and to our production team. Until next time, have a good evening. Stay blessed and stay safe. Don't be a perpetrator, and as a victim, do well to protect yourself. It is better to remain single, happy, and doing well than to be married and then lose your life. Take care and see you next time. Bye.
This show is brought to you by Aflag, Praise TV, and Oriental Resort Hotel.